G'day. My name's Nathan Lindsell, and welcome to episode number 35 of The Fine Art of Distraction. So, today's episode is an extra special episode. The reason why is because, well, I'm actually collaborating with a dear friend of mine, Angie Mason. Now, the reason why I have a bit of a giggle just then is because, well, Angie and I have actually been trying to organise, well, we've been talking about doing this episode since literally before I started my channel. That's right. Before I filmed my very first episode, Angie and I have been talking about this. And you're probably thinking, how is that possible? How can you organise a collaboration when you don't even have a channel yet? Well, before I started filming, I actually used to send photos of my paintings to Angie, and she would always respond with, "They're amazing, they're beautiful, you have to start your own channel." And I'm like, no, stop it, they're not good enough, no one's going to watch me, nah, I'll just continue watching you and watching all the other artists out there. And she's like, no, you have to be one of those artists that other people watch. And I'm like, nah, I'm not good enough. No one's going to watch me. No one's going to sub to me. So, nah, I'll just go about my day and watch everyone else. And she's like, no. You have to film. You have to do your own channel. So after a lot of talking and a lot of convincing, well, here I am now. I filmed my first episode, and now, 10 months later, I'm up to episode number 35 with almost 800 subscribers. That's right. I'm so close to hitting 800. That's insane. And I owe all that to Angie. I wouldn't have started my channel if Angie didn't give me the confidence and give me the push and the drive to start my own channel. So Angie, from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much for basically being my mentor. Not only do I love you so much, my whole family loves you. Especially my sister Corinne. She watches your videos all the time. She actually watches them to help sort of fall asleep. Not to say that you're boring or anything like that. She actually says that your voice is quite soothing. So, so again, not only do I love you, my whole family loves you. So Angie, thank you so much for basically being in my life and helping me start my own channel. So, what we've actually decided to do to basically do a collaboration is, well, it started off with a couple of ideas. I said to her, why don't we do the colours of our favourite football teams? And so my favourite football team is the Cronulla Sharks, and the colours are black, white and blue. And Angie's favourite football side is the Baltimore Ravens, which is purple, black and white with a little bit of gold. And then we started thinking, those colours, there's not that many. So then we decided, well, Angie then said, well, why don't I, being Angie, paint the colours using the colours from like the Great Barrier Reef. And then I said, well, I know that mud crabs are sort of famous in your hometown, so why don't I do the colours of the mud crab? And we're like, yeah, that's a great idea. So I actually done flyers up of both, and here they are here. And you'll actually see the screen. This is actually a screenshot, and you'll see the date there. Early January. That's crazy. And actually, just to show you that we started talking about this before I filmed my first video, here's actually a screenshot of my first painting, or my first video, my first painting for the video. And you'll see that the date is actually after this date. Crazy, right? So, and then I started thinking, oh, well, the colours of the mud crab, when I actually pour with them, they're actually going to come out quite muddy. So let's re-evaluate it and pick something else. So then I actually said, what's your favourite colourful creature? I said, mine is actually the Mandarin fish. And so I sent a photo of the Mandarin Fish to Angie, and she's like, my God, that's the most beautiful fish I've ever seen. And I said, would you believe that the biggest that they get is only about 2.5 inches? And she's like, no way. So then I said, well, what's your favorite small creature? And she said, the hummingbird. And I quickly Google searched the hummingbird, and I'm like, wow, those colors are on there are awesome. So then we decided, hey, why don't I do the colors of the hummingbird and Angie does the colors of the Mandarin Fish? So that's what we're actually going to be doing. So we finally came up with an idea. We finally set a date in concrete, and here we are. We're doing a collaboration finally. Yay! Yeah! Alrighty, guys. So now that I've given you a bit of a story with how I got here and why Angie and I are actually collaborating together, let's head over to the table. I'll show you what products I'm going to be using, and then, yeah, let's start going. Thanks, guys. Alrighty then. So here's all the products I'm going to be using today. And as you can see, I'm only using acrylic paints. I know, go figure. There's no pigments there. Now, both me and Angie are going to be using the exact same tool, which is the sink strainer. Now, I've actually never used this before, but the fact that we both have the exact same one, we thought, hey, because we're collaborating together, let's use the exact same tool. Now, I've noticed that the holes on here are actually quite thin. So that means the paint's going to have to be quite thin as well to actually flow through those holes. So I've decided that I'm going to make up my own pouring medium, which I'm going to do a 1-to-1 ratio of Aussie Floetrol and Holcroft pouring medium, which is 50% Aussie Floetrol and 50% Holcroft pouring medium. Okay. Now I'm going to mix all of these paints with that pouring medium. Again, I'm only just sort of coming up with that pouring medium, so I don't know if it's going to work, but I don't see why it wouldn't work when that is a pouring medium. And I mean, Aussie Floetrol technically isn't a pouring medium, but we do use it sometimes as a pouring medium. So I don't see why combining both of them wouldn't work. Okay. The brands of paint that I'm actually going to be using, we've got Amsterdam, then we've also got Global, Liquitex Basics, and El Rado de Polo. Now, Angie loves how I say El Rado de Polo, and I figured because we're collaborating, I should use it. So here it is again. El Rado de Polo. The colors that we're going to be using today, well, I'm going to be using today, are from Global, we've got Metallic Blue, Ultraviolet, Cobalt Hue, and Metallic Purple. From Liquitex Basics, we've got Dioxazine Purple. From El Rado de Polo, we've got Black, Tropical Teal, and Green Light. And then from Amsterdam, we've got Turquoise Green, Copper, which is actually a metallic copper, and then Brilliant Green. You'll notice on the actual colour palette that there's only 2 purples, but yet I've got 3 purples there. The reason why I've got 3 is because I'm actually going to darken down this metallic purple by adding a little bit of the Dioxazine Purple from Liquitex. I could have lightened up the ultraviolet by adding a little bit of white, but I actually liked the tone of that, so I didn't want to muck around with that. So I decided I'm going to darken down the metallic purple by adding a little bit of the Liquitex Basics Dioxazine Purple. Okay. You'll also notice on the color palette, there's a color called Khaki. And I don't have Khaki here as a premix color, so I'm going to have to make it up myself. And to make the color Khaki, you need brown, green, and a little bit of blue. So I thought, hey, because I'm making it up myself, let's make my own version of Khaki. So I'm basically going to be replacing the brown with the metallic copper. The green is obviously just the Brilliant Green. But because you only need a little bit of blue, I thought, hey, let's add some turquoise. So that's why I've got turquoise, copper, and green there, to hopefully make almost like a metallic sort of khaki. Well, fingers crossed that works. We've also got my blowtorch there to get rid of any air bubbles, and I will be using a base coat, and the base coat that I'm going to be using is actually one that I mixed up quite a while ago, which is almost like a metallic cyan. But how nice is that colour? So I'm not too sure if I'm going to be left with any negative space, but if I am left with some negative space, I wouldn't mind having this colour as the negative space. I'm not planning on having negative space, but if it turns out that happens to be negative space, that's the colour I'd like to have. Alright guys, now that I've actually told you what products and colours I'm going to be using, I'll clear off all of this, I'll start mixing up all the paints, and then yeah, let's get going. Thanks guys. So before I actually start pouring, I'll just show you the khaki colour that I made up, which I think is absolutely insanely awesome. So it's actually got almost like a colour shift to it. Shift almost goes from like army green to sort of brown. So I'm actually pretty impressed that I actually come up with that colour. That's sick! Center by getting a piece of string, going from corner to corner, letting it drip down, and then lift up. Corner to corner, and let it drip and lift up. Alrighty, so because I only had a little bit of the khaki that I made up, and a little bit of the green, all the other colours I've got a little bit more of, I want to save them for more of the end, because the first colours that go in are going to be the outside edge, okay? So I'm thinking I want to start the edges, the outside, with like black, purple, maybe black, blue, like, and then start doing all the other colors. So that's what I'll do. didn't actually put the canvas on the lazy Susan straight. Oh, smart, wasn't it? I was wondering why it was sort of tilting to one side. I didn't put the canvas smack bang in the middle. Okay, so at this point I actually decide to start pouring the paint through the strainer as if I'm actually pouring an open cup style, just because I feel that it was actually flowing through the strainer a little bit easier. So I decided to pour it as if I was actually doing an open cup. And the funny thing is, I actually probably should have stopped pouring paint at this stage, because there actually is quite a lot of paint on there at the moment, but I didn't really realise. So yeah, so everything from this point onwards, I feel is a little bit of overkill, and yeah, I should have definitely stopped pouring paint before I actually started doing this open cup sort of style of technique. Expecting it to turn out that good. Yahoo! This is wicked cool. I absolutely love it. That's awesome. That's sick. Hell yeah! Yahoo! I did waste heaps of paint. But it's alright. I'm going to scrape all of that up and put it into a container so I can use it as a base coat for another painting. But how well wicked is that? Yeah! I love that bit there. That is so cool. There's so much of this that's just awesome! Yeah! And look at these hands! I say it at once and I say it a million times. You know I've done something good when my hands look like that. Yee-hoo! All right, remember we gotta wipe our bottom so the paint doesn't keep pulling away from it, and also because you don't want to walk around with a dirty bum. Oh, I love this bit here. This is just awesome. Let's give it a bit of a blowtorch. I actually can't see any air bubbles, but I'll just do a quick one. Guys, I am so happy with this. Yes, 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 yes. Yeah, yeah, yes, yeah, yes, 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 yeah, yeah, yes, 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 yes. Yahoo! This is well wicked. Ha ha ha! You! Alright guys, so I'd like to take this opportunity to actually thank Angie. Angie was actually the one that convinced me, gave me encouragement, and sort of pushed me into actually creating my channel. Before I started my channel, I showed her like probably about 30 of my paintings, and she actually said, "You should start a channel." And I'm like, nah, I'm not good enough to start a channel. And she convinced me that I was. She still convinces me because I'm still continually saying I'm not good enough to have my own channel. But I actually thank each and every single one of you that has subscribed to my channel. And on that, if you actually like what you see here today, hit the like button and give us a thumbs up. I'd love to see hundreds of thumbs up for this one, as it's a collaboration with a dear friend, Angie Mason. And as I said at the start, we've been trying to do this collaboration since early January. It's now late October. And if you haven't yet subscribed and you like what you see and you feel like subscribing, please hit the subscribe button. Then hit the little dark bell. That'll indicate when I actually upload a new video. I do try to upload a new video every week, so you will get a notification every week. And if you think any of your friends or family might like to see me create what I think is absolutely insanely awesome, please hit the share button and share it with your friends and family. I'd love for them to actually have a look at it. Alright guys, again, thank you so much, and thank you Angie. But thank you all for tuning in. It means the world to me that you guys tune in each and every week, and all the comments that I receive, oh wow, it just touches my heart. So thank you so much. So once again, thank you so much for joining me on this episode. I had so much fun creating this. Yes, I used a lot of paint, which is all down here. But don't worry, I will scrape that up and save it for a base coat for another painting. Alright, once again, thank you for joining me on this episode. And this is the fine art of distraction.